Cool. Got it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
How y'all doing, Seeking Knowledge family? It's the host of this podcast, this amazing, wonderful podcast. I'm Favorite 33, and I have a guest on that's going to talk about that's probably going to really lose a lot of y'all. But I met Dr. Bridget on the OWL app, and I love her energy, and she just got a lot to share. So I might only get into a big intro because I want her to share everything she got to share with y'all. How you doing today, Miss Dr. Bridget?
Great. How are you today, DeMarcus?
I'm amazing. I'm wonderful. Oh, can you hear me?
Great. Yeah, so I'm happy to join you today and have a conversation.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad to have you here. And yeah, by the way, y'all, this is season 14, episode 26, with a special guest, Dr. Bridget, and she gonna drop some gems about the flowers.
Absolutely. So, and you're down in Texas, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So it's stuff, wherever you go, there's how people view it, their experience with cannabis and what it means varies. And so, I'm in Ohio, originally from Michigan, but I do work, across the country, and I get to see how people respond, how their understanding of it being medicinal, their understanding of it being more social, and the stigma around it is still very real, and stops a lot of us in particularly from getting sometimes the help that it could provide.
Right. I do agree, because like I said, I smoke, but I slowed down though. I really slowed down a lot so I can focus more on what I need to focus on, because it was like it was controlling me. Like I said, I don't think nothing wrong with it because I do indica. Like it's like I relax. It had me relax, but I feel like if I'm just constantly abusing it and not using it like I should, then I'm really abusing it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna slow down. I'm just gonna do it when I'm gonna go in the lab and write some, or it's not just gonna be I'm just gonna do it all day no more. I limit myself.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is that you have to ask yourself why are you using it all day, right? And
Right.
for a lot of people, it's a habit. It can be addictive. Cannabis can slow down your natural endocannabinoid system that releases chemicals like THC, the chemical that causes the high. But the more you use THC, your natural chemicals don't really activate, right? And so you want to have a balance between how your body usually, creates and behaves, and you don't want to override it so much that it can't do the work it's supposed to do. So when people tend to use it a lot, I ask them, are you using cannabis or is cannabis using you? And if you're not sure, if you don't have a good sense of who's in control, then that's really when it's time to ask yourself some key questions and probably pull back.
And that's what I did. I was asking. Then I had my brother that's incarcerated. I told him that I slowed down a little bit. He was like, "Bro, that's good, because I'm gonna be honest with you. It was like you was abusing this. Like it was controlling. It was controlling you more than you was controlling it." And when he said that, it hit me like, you know what, you right. Even though I do a lot, but still, smoking all day used to make me lazy, tired. Like I don't want to get up. Like when I do get up, I'm good. Then it's like throughout the day when it wind down, I was like, man, I'm drained.
Right. And that's what you're trying to avoid. What I usually look for is that it should be making you more active in your life and not less active, right? And so, for a lot of my patients, they have maybe pain, joint issues. Using cannabis allows them to garden, to walk more, to do more activities. But if it gets to the point where you're doing less, or you're just exhausted and just kind of zoned out, then you don't have a really great relationship with it, right? You're supposed to be more active and more creative, not let like it shouldn't stifle your life.
Right. So I know you mentioned your clients, Dr. Bridget. So how long have you been on this journey of, or how long you been studying the use of cannabis? And I know you said like you tell your clients like you can use it in a positive way without abusing it. So how long you been on your journey?
So, I've been a family physician for over 20 some years, but I really got into the cannabis space about 7 years ago. And it's really because of a patient that I had early in my career who was a cancer survivor and a new diabetic. She started asking me about cannabis. I thought she was crazy. So I was like, let me look up some information to tell her why this is ridiculous, because I had no exposure to the even concept that it could had any medical qualities. And so in the course of looking up information to tell her why she was wrong, I found all this medical information. And this was really early in my career. So at that point, I shared with her what I learned and that I wanted to support her. And she was making edibles, she was doing some smoking, and I saw her health transform in a way much different from my pharmaceutical patients. So the exposure happened, a while back, but about, like I said, about 6, 7 years ago is when I really got into this space to help other patients.
That's beautiful. That's good. So you said with your client, they got you started. Like that's good because I'm more on the. I don't like the FDA over the counter medicine. Like I don't
Mhm.
like taking it, and I feel like it can be a supplement. Because I say I don't think nothing wrong with it because a lot of state legalize it. It's just it becomes something wrong. It's something wrong with it when you abuse it like I was doing. I'm gonna keep speaking back to me. I don't speak on nobody. I'm speaking on me because I was like I slowed down for a reason because even though I know the effects it make me feel good and I'd rather do that than take a Tylenol or anything. But it's just you gotta know when to turn it, shut it on, shut it off. You gotta know when to turn it off.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's
Absolutely. And so what I usually tell people to avoid some of that is every 2 to 3 months, take at least a week off, minimum 5 days. And if you're, you might experience some withdrawal because if you're using it on a regular basis, but it will recalibrate your body. It'll allow you to get your natural endocannabinoid system, reboot that. If you are having a lot of withdrawal, using CBD by itself will counteract some of the withdrawal symptoms of irritability, sleep issues, hunger issues. So taking a break every 2 to 3 months is really helpful. And then you want a good relationship with it, just like anything else, right? And so
right.
if you find that it's a crutch where you're trying to remove yourself from thoughts or remove yourself from some of the issues in your life without confronting them directly, then you need to do the work to actually manage what's going on in your life. Taking a break is always good. It's good for us to kind of, relax, of course, right? Life is stressful. But if you notice that you're using it in a way that's not good for you, then, it's time to pull back and ask yourself some questions.
And I ain't gonna even lie, Dr. Bridges, you hit it right. You hit the nail with the hammer because when you said that you were speaking to me, I did it
Hmm.
because I was like trying to cope with these emotions of like me losing my mom and just going through life, then social media, like creating posts. So I used to cope myself with weed. And it's like when I slowed down, it's like all them emotions like, no, you gonna deal with it. And them tears just came out this morning. I was like,
Hmm.
I can't do it no more. Like, but I get what you're saying, like how I used to like hide my pain. Soon that thought comes. Soon that thought
Hmm.
comes. But since I've slowed, man, it's like, oh, like I can really tap into myself and deal with my emotions the way it should be dealt with instead of just coding it. And I was like,
Absolutely. And you have to ask yourself, if this was narcotics, if this was Vicodin, if this was alcohol, is the way you're using it particularly in a social way. Now, medical use sometimes will look different, right? But if it was alcohol, if you were drinking the way you were smoking, would that be healthy?
No, it would not.
Okay. And if you were taking pills like Vicodin, Percocet, whatever, if you were using the pills the same way you were smoking, would that be okay? And keep in mind, that depends. Someone with severe pain, maybe it would be, right? But you have to ask yourself, would that be okay?
No, it would not be okay, because I'm saying like just the effects of, because like how you gave an example, if you think you're drinking it makes your liver up. Then these narcotics, all that they put all type of I can't say the word amphetamine, so it's gonna eat your liver up. I get it. And
Yeah.
you got
and so
the other day. Go ahead.
So even though you don't have to deal with cannabis breaking down your body the way alcohol would, long-term use can have its effects, right? And so you want to make sure you're always on the side of this enhancing your life and not stifling it in any way.
And another thing I like how what you touched on, you was like take maybe 5 days off. Like when I slowed down, I did this on purpose just to see how I react. I took like a whole day off. I did a whole day and see, can I record my podcast and see how I would function. I didn't have no withdrawal. Like I can function the way I function with it. Like I can function without it. So me slowing down was a good thing. I even wrote a sticky note on my door and put it up there like I'm slowing down on weed. And I slowed down. And I feel like way better, more energy. Like I can focus more. Than I'm saying I wasn't focusing, but it's like I'm not tired like I used to be from just doing it all day. And I don't even lie. I'm not even for the cap. I'm not for the smoke none of this. If I can't cough off it, I'm not for to get it. If I can't smell it, I'm not for to get it. So, but what you said though, how I've been taking that time off, like it's good to take time off of things. Since I took that whole day off, and that's how I do now. Like it might be like when I'm handling business, like I'm out the door handling business, I don't do nothing till I get back home and I know I'm gonna relax.
Right. Yeah, you really, like, this is the thing, that we're in a weird place right now, right? Because this is, what other substance or plant can you use medicinally as well as you can use socially without any negative effects, right? And so because of that, we sometimes get in a place where we are kind of overusing it, because even though cannabis has its stigma, it's not the same as if you're rolling up with a bottle in your hand every day, right? And so one thing I'm often concerned about is how it affects particularly our community. And I think back to early 90s, and part of our culture was malt liquor, right? It was in movies, it was in rap, it was in every
commercials, billboard
it was
sign.
everywhere, right? And it was kind of like this cultural thing, but the problem was no one was looking at the fact that it was messing up lives, right? People were getting addicted to it, they were overusing it, but cannabis is now a part of culture. It's a part of rap culture. It's it in a lot of states, not necessarily Texas, but a lot of states it's recreational. And so someone smoking all day, it's gotten to be culturally acceptable. But what we're not seeing, just like the whole malt liquor thing, is how is it affecting people's lives? And so we don't want cannabis to become, and with that mean we have to protect our own community, because the beer companies, which we didn't own, were pumping that into our neighborhoods, and we grabbed a hold of it and made it a part of our culture. So we don't own the majority of this cannabis industry.
Right.
But when we grab a hold of it and make it a part of our culture, we need to have some responsibility, particularly for our youth, because it can very much become you know, differently, you know, not the same, but it can very much become the malt liquor of our culture again if we're not responsible in protecting our youth. And keep in mind, this whole thing sounds like I'm like against I'm not at all against cannabis. I think it's a better option socially. I think it's an incredible option medicinally. It's not going to cause the addiction or waste of life that alcohol can cause. 100%, it's a better option. But I am very conscious of the long-term effects for our community in particular. And so I'm asking for healthy, safe use. And that we educate our youth to do the same.
I love it. That's beautiful. Man. Is there anything else you like? So I go ahead. Hello?
Yeah, say it one more time. You're going in and out a little bit.
No, I'll say anything else you want to share. Then I have to ask you a question. So you like you say, you know, it's not nothing wrong with it. So you think people should who do overdose and they should slow down a little bit, or at least take a break?
Well, I always believe in tolerance breaks. And so that tolerance breaks is a minimum of 5 days every 2 to 3 months. But, you know, my mother taught me temperance. An excess of anything is not good for you, right? So even if you drink too much water, it can kill you, right? And so if you practice temperance, as a Black community, we need to make sure that we manage our mental health and that we choose healthy relationships, right? Relationships, intimacy with our family, with our work, with, you know, everybody. Choose healthy relationships so that we can manage and have the skill set to handle, you know, problems in our lives. But if you practice temperance, I think it's a better option. And keep in mind, everybody, you don't need to smoke. Like, there's so many ways. I own a mobile cannabis bar, meaning I do beautiful cocktails that are THC and CBD based. You don't have to smoke. You can have a cocktail just as much as you can smoke or have a gummy or, you know, what have you. And so choose ways that are good for you to utilize it, and always practice temperance.
I do agree. And another thing I want to share, like another reason why I slowed down, just like I say, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I'm thinking about the smell on my clothes around people that don't like that smell. So it's a lot of reasons why I slowed down, because I be around a lot of political people, ex-military people, business owners where I stay at, and I was like, okay, they know ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't know if they want to smell this all the time. So I really have analyzed myself and checked myself, like, you know what? I'm gonna slow down because I don't like the smell on my clothes. I'm going around these people, I don't want them to be looking at me like, oh, that's all he do. So it's personal reason why I slowed down.
Absolutely. And then, you know, be an example for friends and family. And you know, we don't want to harp on other people's experiences and why they do it. I have a lot of close friends that wake up smoking and be smoking all day, but then I am there for them to help deal with life. So, and then, you know, having them look at, you know, let's manage this problem in a constructive way instead of avoiding it. Do you see what I'm saying? And what I hope comes out of it is, if we are constructively managing life problems, maybe you're not reaching so quickly to disappear from the problem. You hear me? You know,
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, get to the heart of it. Don't hide from the problem, you know, because life is always going to deliver something to you, but it delivers only what you can handle. Delivers only what you can handle. So let's make sure that we're not trying to disappear from life's problems, and that we're actually you know, confronting it. Because if you got negative energy around you, nothing's going to fix that but getting rid of it.
You got to tell them, instead of lighting that blunt, do that shadow work. Like, I do agree. I had to do that shadow work, and like, I slowed down. When I say them emotions was like, and I'm an empath, so I can just pick up on energies. Like when I say I slowed down, Dr. Bridget, I say them thoughts was hitting me. I was like, oh, I see what I was hiding, like, but I had to deal with it though. And now since I dealt with it, I feel way better.
Right.
mentally.
And don't be afraid of emotion. I mean, that's what makes us human, right? And I'm glad that you're sharing this. I do a show on Black Star Network, The Culture with Faraji Muhammad. Every Monday I do a show called Reclaim Your Wellness with Dr. Bridget MD. We talk a lot about mental health in the Black community. We talk about Black men and vulnerability. I am so proud of the fact that you're like, yes, I got tears. I have emotion. Because men don't always have a safe place to express emotion. And so you need to carve out spaces where it is okay that you have people in your life that you can cry in front of, that you have acceptance with, right? That you can be your true self. If you don't have that space, you can smoke all day. It doesn't fix that. And that's what we all aim for, to have safe places where we can be ourselves.
I would definitely love to be a part of that. That's
Absolutely.
this
Absolutely.
amazing conversation. Miss Dr. Bridget, I said, Miss Dr. Bridget, man, who's dropping gems on the plant. Is anything else you'd like to share? So
No, just so you can always follow me on Instagram. I'm Dr. Bridget MD. So it's DRBRIDGET MD. And that's where you can find most of my information. I do cannabis consults and assist families across the country, as well as, I'm an empowerment coach. So I talk about, particularly, I'm invested in the our people and our community. And so, follow me on Instagram and learn more about what I do. And if I can help other people, I'm glad to do it.
Y'all heard it from the own Dr. Bridget Williams. She tell y'all how y'all can reach her. And look, Seeking Knowledge family, I know it's a lot of y'all be out there blowing like a trumpet. But it's okay to slow down once in a while and do a great reset. So that's all I want to say. Thank you so much, Dr. Rich, for taking time off your busy schedule and come hanging out with me on Seeking Knowledge Podcast. It was such an honor just to really hear somebody speak on this from a positive standpoint, but at the same time, it's a point where you need to like really slow down, take a couple of days off to do a great reset. So it was an honor to have you on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Happy to do it.
And I just want to say thank you so much once again. I'm giving you your flowers for coming out here, dropping these gems, and anything else you want to share before we get up out of here.
No, go ahead. Follow me on Instagram, learn more about what I do, and you can always reach out to me through Instagram. I
love it. And Seeking Knowledge family, I forgot to say this. I thought I can get away without saying this. I know y'all are going through so much. And look, I got a book that will help y'all overcome all this. I overcame a lot. You can click on Amazon. You can put my name in, DeMarcus David Brewster, or you can put From the Hood to the Church in. I guarantee you read that book, you can overcome anything in the world. And guess what? I see y'all next time. All right, Miss Bridget. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm happy to do it. We can fine tune and share more information in the future, but I appreciate your time.
Yes, ma'am. We will do.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.